Hi, folks. This is Chris Voss from the Chris Voss Show. I had some questions that came up on my LinkedIn profile and some answers that I was providing people to help them with their social media questions and their Twitter, Facebook, and all that good stuff. Now, if you've read my bio, you kind of know what I'm about, what my background's about. I think it's easy to say I'm a different kind of animal than, say, a lot of people in business or many people you might meet in business. My life has been very public. I've been the registry agent on most of my corporations. You can find out about me. I've had background checks with the FBI, Interpol on a national basis to pass my mortgage and real estate licensing brokerage tests. You can find me just about anywhere in my background. So there's not a whole lot that I can hide about who I am, what I do, what I'm about. Now, given that, to me, when I claim to be an expert, charge people for what I do, et cetera, through our company, Strategics One Consulting, we teach people social media, but we don't just, we're not just out there ripping people off. What we're about is teaching people a significant strategy that we've found works for not only our company, for me personally, but for other companies. We have international clients around the world, and it's been a very successful program for us. Now, there are a lot of people, and this seems to be the big backlash that I keep hearing in social media. There are a lot of people who claim to be social media experts. And one of the reasons that I claim on my website to be the social media expert other experts turn to is because after a while I started wondering why so many calls were coming to me, and after an inquisitive research and saying, well, why are you asking me this question? I found that the people that were calling me were claiming to be experts. They were going to other people, charging them money, and then they were calling me to resolve their problems or issues so they could look smart in front of their clients. Now, I'm not the end-all of knowledge. I don't know it all, but I think I can find it all if I need to know it all. And I seem to be successful so far at knowing what I need to know for my clients. My clients are successful and happy with our product and our service and what we do for them. But there seems to be this backlash, this rage in the environment that social media experts are these horrible people, and there's just a menagerie of them running around rampantly, taking people's money and ripping them off, et cetera, et cetera. Now, our company works on a pay-per-result scale. So no one's going to keep paying us if we don't get them results, and that's really the key. Now, I realize there are people out there. Someone approached my father recently and told him that if they paid him, or if he paid them $5,000, they would set him up profiles on all the major social media sites. Well, now, if anybody's ever filled out a social media site entry form, that's might be a little high in price, or might be a ripoff, et cetera, et cetera. So there are a lot of people out there. I'm not going to cast aspersions or claim to be the person who decides who is and who is not an expert, whatever the case may be. But I do want to point something out. I think this is apparent to a point of reality, benchmarking what is true in any given industry. Now, if anyone's worked with contractors, and I don't mean to pick on contractors here, but let's look at a few different fields of industry. There's a lot of people who claim to be contractual experts. Now, if you ever worked with any of these folks or had anyone do bids on you, you get everything from people that are superlatively professional in being contractors. They are licensed. They know exactly what they're doing. You get people that claim to be licensed, but you later find out if you check their references, they are not, and maybe they know what they're doing. Then you get people that don't know what they're doing, claim to be licensed, and asking for your money. And then you have people that are just hack jobs. They're just hoping you'll pay them ahead of time, and they'll disappear. You'll never see your money or your contractor costs. Now, I'm not picking on contractors because this is true of any given industry that I've ever found. Let's take a look at a few things here on the web. You've got Google, let's see, unlicensed contractors. And as you can see, these go the gambit from different cities across America, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'm not saying that social media people should be licensed. I'm not saying that there are certain people out there in social media that are necessarily taking advantage of people, et cetera, et cetera. What I am saying is that each industry and each different job field has within it a certain proportion of people that have differing degrees of level of expertise, knowledge, and ability, and maybe really, when it comes down to it, to do the job for you or your country, your company. So let's take a look. There's a whole lot of construction business here. Now, I don't want to pick on contractors, of course, but many of you may have your experience with people in this field that maybe weren't licensed. So let's take a look at some other fields that are maybe a little bit more high-ranked in the white-collar industry. It's certainly not exclusive, I should say, to the blue-collar industry. Let's take a look at doctors. Let's see what we find here on Google. Fake, unlicensed doctors. Look at this. Fake doctors, fake doctors, fake doctors. Now, I got to tell you, I probably faked being far less weight than I am, or better looking than I am, maybe to a cute young lady. But I've never faked being a doctor. And neither have I faked it to go into surgery, for that matter. A doctor is like one of those things that I don't think I would quite fake or embellish to any given degree. I might embellish that I have $100 more in my pocket and drive a better car and blah, 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 or whatever the case may be. But I think pushing a doctor embellishment might be taking it just a little too far, especially when people expect you to perform surgery on them. So let's take a look at this. I'm, of course, giving you some comedy here. But Google, here's a list of unlicensed doctors. Look at this. These people are giving exams to people, and if you're familiar with people that have had botched surgeries, I think there's a few movie stars that come to mind, Tara Reid, et cetera, et cetera. It's a very dangerous world out there, and there are people faking being doctors. I mean, the worst thing I could probably ever faked is, I don't know, flipping burgers at McDonald's. I'm really not that good. So here's fake doctors. Let's take a look at another white-collar field. Fake dentists, fake licensed contractors, fake attorneys. Now, not to cast aspersions on attorneys, doctors, or contractors, of course, but my point here that I'm trying to get across to you is there are people who don't know what they're doing in just about any given field, and they just might be in your office, no matter what you do, from sales to being a paper company, or from, selling soda pop, or whatever the case may be. It's out there. So I think because we spend a lot of time in social media, we spend a lot of time in Twitter, there's a lot of people selling programs on Twitter and all that sort of good stuff, there's this impending backlash that seems to be quite high against social media experts and all that sort of good stuff. And I am certainly not defending those folks or saying that they know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. And my clients seem to know what I'm doing and seem to continue paying for it. And that's really my main concern. I'm not interested in defending the industry, the people that claim to be social experts, or anything else. I am claiming that I know what I'm doing, and I've proven that I know what I'm doing. And if you look at my results and you do enough research, you will find that case to be so. Now, do I know everything? I don't, because only a fool would claim to know everything. And that would certainly be a case where you would go, buyer beware. So, anyway, that's my take on this. This is a little blog I want to post. I see a lot of this backlash going on, and I think there's a certain reality, I think there's a certain brevity that we need to bring to it, where we say, look, there's given people in every industry that unfortunately have scammed a lot of people and have taken advantage of people, and we certainly frown on those people that you can't trust, that take advantage of people that hope to get the best for what they do. Do your background checks. Do your research on references, who people are, what they do. Interview them well. Find out who they are, what they know, what they've done for other companies, et cetera, et cetera. So, anyway, thank you for visiting, and thanks for this little chat that we've had. I hope that maybe I've enlightened some people as to what's out there in the marketplace. If you ever have any questions about who I am, what I'm about, or Strategics One, or any of my other companies that I own, please call me. Pick up the phone. Have a conversation with me. I'm a very public individual, and I've been a very public individual for the past, owning corporations for over 23 years now. I think since 1992. Actually, maybe more. Somebody do the math. Anyway, I'm out there in the public. You can find me. You can find out what I'm about. So I hope you take a look at what I do for you. Check out my books. Check my webinar. Check out all my ebooks that sell internationally. Check out my consulting company that does consulting for international companies now. I thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck in what you're trying to achieve. If you need my help, please feel free to call me. Thank you very much. Good night.